You simply can't get every bottle. So here's 7 whiskeys I missed out on in 2023. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Hunch, and thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the world of whiskey. So, even though I have a YouTube channel dedicated to whiskey and bourbon, and I spend a lot of time in this hobby hunting, I honestly miss out on a lot of stuff. And it's, always disappointing to feel like you set out or thought of a full list of bottles that you really wanted to get this year. You hear about new allocated drops, and you're just not able to get your hands on them. So as we get toward the end of the year, we're going to be talking a lot about my favorite whiskeys of the year, a lot of the allocated bottles I got. Wanted to do the flip side and talk about all the bottles I didn't get my hands on. So first one for me that I really was trying to get my hands on and looking forward to was Parker's Heritage 10-year-old rye. So admittedly, I didn't necessarily go drastically out of my way to try to get this one. Certainly could have popped down to the distillery and tried to get one, though that's still very, very difficult. This was one I just kind of had a hope and a prayer that I might get my hands on or see, and it didn't end up happening. The real shame is that apparently it's one of their best releases of all time, according to reviews. So missed out on that. Maybe there's hope that down the line I'll still see one, but unlikely at this point, and that's sort of bottle number 1 that I didn't get this year. All right, another one that I did not get, didn't even see, didn't even sniff, was Russell's Reserve 13. So this is one that started coming out last year. So it was a new release from Wild Turkey. Now it's got so much hype around it. Everybody's looking for it every single batch that comes out. I have never even seen it behind a counter anywhere, which is a little disappointing. And trust me, I go to liquor stores, I do trips all the time to hunt down bottles, and I just haven't seen it at all. The only time I did even sniff a bottle was the Party Source, a major liquor store near me, actually the largest liquor store in America. They sent out an mistake email saying that everybody who had entered a lottery for the bottle had won. So I thought for a minute that I had won Russell's Reserve 13. Didn't end up winning it, though happy to say I did win a bottle, which was the Michter's 10-year-old rye that I have, which is awesome. Anyway, never seen Russell's. We'll just hope in 2024 that we do see one, at least one bottle. Next one on the list is an annual release that has gotten a lot of hype, especially since I think it was the 5th one in the series. And for me, that is Remus Repeal number 7. So again, a bottle I never saw, was definitely looking forward to potentially hunting down this year, trying to keep my eye out for it. And it's just one of those ones that is kind of now in that upper echelon, gets a lot of hype, and unfortunately for me, didn't see it at all. I heard that the 7 was pretty dang good. I know that the 6 kind of had mixed reviews, and the 5 was legendary. So going forward, I think this one's probably gonna still sit in that super allocated sort of realm, and everybody's gonna be hunting it. Maybe in 2024 I'll get a peek, but who knows. All right, next on the list is one that everybody knows. It seems like it's not impossible to find, but very, very difficult, and that is Stagg, or Stagg Jr. This is one that I have seen bottles of. I've seen it behind counters or, sort of off to the side, but always super highly marked up. We're talking $400 to get it, which I'm never gonna pay that much for Stagg. I have tasted one because a subscriber was happy enough to send me a sample, which is awesome. It was very good. But not $400 good. I'm not sure many whiskeys, if any whiskeys, are $400 good. So sad that I have seen that one and been kind of like falsely tempted, but it's one that I have yet to see at a reasonable price for me to grab. Next on the list is one that is definitely very allocated, but seems like you can get lucky and find these every once in a while in certain spots. And that's one of the reasons I had it kind of flagged as something I could maybe get. And that is Blood Oath Pact 9. Again, this is one that I didn't see at all this year in my area or any trip I took, which is a little disappointing. I know that it came out, I think, a little bit later in the year, so all these fall releases, maybe you'll still have a chance to see it toward the end of the year, but likelihood's pretty low. And for me, this is one that, again, I think it's just certain pockets where you might get lucky and see it, and for me, did not get lucky and see it at all this year. And I've never even tasted a Blood Oath. Don't know exactly what's going on with that whole lineup, and I would love to explore it, but again, this is one I just totally missed out on. The final two bottles on my list today are ones that there's still a little bit of hope, because they certainly have come out pretty late in the year here. Just before we go into those two bottles, do want to say, if you're enjoying all the content coming out of the channel, would love to have you aboard as a subscriber as we launch into 2024. Really hoping to get to 2,000 subscribers on the channel and hit that milestone. So if you could help me reach that goal, that would be awesome. While you're at it, hit the like button and then comment down below. What bottles did you miss out on this year that you were really looking forward to maybe trying to get? Would love to start a conversation and just kind of maybe share or commiserate together about, there's a lot of bottles that we don't always get. All right, let's do the last two bottles now. First of those is one that I still have hope to get for sure, but I was hoping that I could get it before the end of the year, maybe even put it in my Whiskey of the Year contender kind of category, but didn't see it at all, and that is Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series 11. Why was I looking really hard for this one and excited? It's all Kentucky bourbon, as far as I understand. It's got good age on it, and the reviews are great. So I've got the Discovery Series number 8 that I love, and this sounded like it was going to be right up my alley. Again, there's still plenty of chances probably in the future to see it, though this one is pretty highly hyped up. It's just a shame that I didn't get it in time to kind of include it in all of 2023's releases for me. Last but not least, the final bottle is one that I had on my most anticipated list. It's one that I had on my top 10 bourbons that I'm hunting and want to try, and that is Midwinter's Night's Dram Act 11. So again, this is one that I've seen posts of, people seeming to see it in different pockets, especially one of my favorite places to look, Costco, seems to be popping up across the country, but alas, I haven't seen a single bottle of it. Again, maybe there's hope in 2024, early 2024, since this is a very late release, a very December release. So we'll see. We'll see if I see it early in January maybe or something like that. But in terms of having it as part of 2023, one of my goals to get, and one that I would have loved to have seen how it would hold up to other contenders for Whiskey of the Year, didn't get my hands on one. Okay, that's gonna do it, everybody. That is my list. That's 7 whiskeys that I barely saw or saw super marked up or just did not have the chance to buy this year at all. Some of them were highly anticipated ones for me. Some of them were, top 10 goals for me, but alas, didn't get them. That's okay though. I did get a lot of great bottles this year, so I can't quite complain, but looking forward to 2024 and seeing if we can sort of level up. Until I see you guys again for another video, all I can say is keep drinking good whiskey, keep hunting even if you don't get every bottle, and cheers.